What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Got another little RSX video for you today. So something that I've actually looked into myself, haven't seen it very commonly, and I've actually gotten like a message or two about it asking if I know anything about it. So today I'm just going to cover it in a quick little video. I'm going to be filming part one now, and then when the rest of the parts come in, I'll finish the rest of the video. But today we are going to be doing a 0506 front badge, rear badge, whatever badges on my 0204. I'm gonna be doing this badge install. So some of you may know this is a discontinued 0506 factory option from the dealer. It's only 0506, I'm pretty sure, but they're super rare. Discontinued. I think they go for like $200 or $300 now, but I got it for a really good deal off of one of my buddies. So I always liked the way that front badge looked compared to, I don't think the 0204 had a front Type S badge, just the rear. So typically the 0506 has like, this part isn't there on the 0506. The grille is just, doesn't have this, and this center part is different, right? So I ordered 0506 front Honda badges, and they don't have this like cutout that go around this piece. So what I'm gonna do today is get this little Type S badge installed. I'm still waiting on the red Honda emblems, but when those come in, what I'm gonna do is either take this off and use my Dremel to cut this little edge around the one that I ordered, or I'll just trim this piece behind here for the badge to fit. It's just like, I think it's 2 Phillips head screwdrivers, but it's like really not hard to change. You know, you just take your bumper off. I just wanted to film a little quick video on showing you guys that you can run the 0506 badges on the 0204, and they don't even sell the front Honda Type R emblems for 0204 anymore. You can only buy 0506. So if you want to run the Honda emblems, I mean, you could like just take this silver one off and glue something on there, but I don't want to do that. I want to replace this whole piece. So when the new one comes in, I'll film the second half of this video, and then we'll get to that. But for now, let's do this little Type S badge. I think it's pretty cool. I got it for a good deal. I've always wanted to like kind of run one. I was gonna just leave everything alone and take some pictures with the car before I put any type of like Type S badging on it, but it's a nice day today, and the photo shoot today got canceled, so I'm hoping I can just get all the badges and stuff swapped over before the photo shoot, because I do think it'll look better than the silver Type or the silver Acura logo, which does look pretty good on like the gray car. You know, it matches the headlights, and the car just kind of goes well with like a silver emblems. But I think the red Honda will go a lot better. If not, if I don't like it, I could always change it back. It's really not hard. You just pop the bumper off, and the back is like, I think the back is pretty simple as well. It just pops on and off, and then there's like double-sided tape for the badge for the Type S. But today we're gonna be putting this on here. So basically, when you go to put this on, there's like these 3 little holes back here, and you'd think that one of them lines up with something, right? So you can get 2, but the last one is like just a little bit off. So like I could like bend it and force it in there, but then the emblem's bent, right? And you don't want that. So what I'm doing now is I picked a spot that I thought looked good, right? I think right here. And I already started to Dremel it out, so that way this could slide into place. And I think like right about there looks pretty good. I was gonna move it over more, but I think right there is really good. So what I did was I just put the badge kind of roughly in place. Like right now it's got a little bit of a bow to it because I'm putting pressure on it. But I put the badge like in place, and you see how this kind of hits. You just want to see where it hits and then Dremel it a little bit so it slides in there. So what I'm going to do now is just take this little Dremel piece here. It's like, I don't know, I can get it at Harbor Freight. I used it in a couple of videos ago when I was trimming the interior for bigger speakers. So what you want to do is find the spot I already started, and then literally just take, there's a bunch of different like tips and stuff in the pack it comes with. Turn it on, and then just ream out the little section where you want the piece to sit. As you can see, I already widened it out a bit. I don't want to go too crazy because I'm trying to keep a really factory look. So let's just make this a little bit wider and then put the badge in. All right, so I got the hole reamed out. I did a little bit there and then a little bit on this side, so that way it can slide in nice and smooth. See right here, everything kind of just slides right on in. You just get this right there. See, it fits really good. Now, it's not flush. You see how it's not going in all the way? There's these little lips on the back here. This little lip right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm literally just gonna take like some flush cuts and just cut those off, so that way the badge can sit flush. All right, so after cutting these pretty much flat, this should fit in here nicely now. Just gotta put it where in the spot that I drilled out, and ta-da, nice and flat. Wow, that looks really good. So then the back piece is just this here, these little screws, and it threads in. This is like a backing plate. So let me put that on and I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, so the next problem that I ran into is these nubs are way too long for the 05, 06 they're meant for, but the 02, 04, it's not gonna work because the nubs stick so far through that the backing plate here can't actually butt up to the grill. So what I'm gonna do now is either I could put a bunch of spacers in between here and there, or I'll trim these back a bit so they're not so long, because right now it's like this is way too long and it doesn't give it enough space to actually hold on there. So gotta see if I can find something that'll space the gap between these two here. All right guys, so instead of actually adding like spacers or trimming that, I found a different way to do it. A simple realization. The backing plate, I just flipped it around so that way the post could sit in more, because on the other side of this there's like a indent. So just flip this plate around so it looks like this, so that like these grooves are on this side, and then it actually sits a lot closer to the grill. So let me tighten these two and see if it has any play. All right, so with it flipped around, it's definitely a lot closer, but as you can see, there's still like some movement to it, and I don't really want that because there's chance for the bolts to rattle out. So I'm gonna take this back off, and I think we're gonna use the spacers instead. So in order to run these spacers, the best way that I could think of doing this is I'm gonna end up making these holes bigger on here, so that way the emblem can fit all the way through, and this should be able to tighten up more. Now in order to do that, I might need a longer screw to thread into here, because I'm going to be using washers, so this can have the right spacing. But I'm just going to drill, I already did this one, I'm going to drill that back plate so the piece can slide all the way through, and then hopefully with the washers it'll sit nice and tight. All right guys, so this seemed to work perfectly actually. Look, I can move it around, grab it here, really like minimal play. Like there's just a tad, and that's like literally, these are all pretty tight. So that's pretty good for me. I didn't have to trim the actual badge. I just had to open up the holes in the backing plate, which seems to be the best option. You know, that way I don't have to really trim too much, you know, and I can still, if somebody wanted to mount this on a 05, 06 car, they could, just the same way I have it now with the nut and the screw. And there's like no play. It's moving the whole grill when I try to move that, which is like exactly what you want. So like literally it's 10-minute install. You know, if you have some extra washers and a little drill bit, just open up the holes. A little Dremel, they're like 50 bucks, maybe 40 bucks for the Dremel with the kit and all the stuff at Harbor Freight. Super easy to install that front badge, and in my opinion it looks really good. So I gotta wait for this front Honda emblem to show up, and then we'll continue the second part of the video where I put the the rear Honda emblem, the rear Type S emblem. I was debating on putting the like word where it says Integra on the back, but for now this will do. And then when those come in, we'll finish the second part of this video. So
the next day.
All right, guys, second half of the video. I literally just got off work, and the package that I was waiting for showed up today a lot sooner than I thought it was going to. So I originally filmed that first half of the video, like, I don't know, like a couple days ago. And then I put the bumper back on the car because I do drive the car pretty frequently. So literally like 2 days ago, I was like, you know what? Put the bumper back on. It says like 2 weeks or like a week and a half or some shit on like how long these were going to come in. But literally the front badges and the rear badge, both badges came in today. So we're going to be finishing up the rest of this install video. Unfortunately, I do have to pull the bumper back off. I already got the hood popped. Yeah, I got to pull the bumper back off, but she looks really good on the ground. Some of the comments on the reel were saying that it doesn't look fitting on this car, but when it's on the ground, it really does look good, and in person, it looks great. Mind you, the hood's popped right now, but let's get these packages open, and I'll show you the badges that I got for the front and the back. Everything all apart here. I just popped the bumper off. Super easy on this car. It's just the 2 screws on the side and the tabs on the top and the bottom screws for the fender liner. Some people's are different, but mine's super simple. Disconnect the fog lights. It only takes me like 2 or 3 minutes to pop it off. All I need is a long screwdriver, that short screwdriver over there on the ground to get underneath the car. I didn't even have to jack the car up, still on the ground. So now that this is off, right, the Honda badge, which I didn't even show you yet, my bad. These are all brand new, baby. I'm gonna put these part numbers in the description if you guys are interested, but literally brand freaking new from Japan. Type R badging, OEM stuff. We don't mess around over here, okay? No replica shit. Anyways, so now what I'm doing is I'm just gonna pop this badge off of here. It's just these Phillips heads right in here. I should have just waited a few more days for the package to come in, but I wanted to drive the car, and it said it was going to take like 2 weeks, so let's just pop this off of here. All right, so as you can see, the new badge is very different from the old one. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to mount this on this grill because it's obviously meant for the different year badging. Like this is 0204, 05, 06 doesn't have the slashes on the sides. So what I'm going to do now is figure out a way to mount this. So either I'm going to cut out the sides here where my thumb is, or I'm going to have to trim this actual plastic piece here because, I mean, the screws look like they would match up, right? But this piece is just so bulky. I don't know if it would even fit over this or not. So let me come up with a solution on how to mount this, and I'll show you guys how I do it. All right, well, you may see I have the Dremel back out again. I got to plug it in, but measuring some stuff, and then we're going to cut something. I haven't decided quite what I'm going to be cutting yet. I don't know what I'm going to be cutting, but something's getting cut. Either the badge is getting cut, or I'm going to cut this piece here, which I don't know. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So the way this badge fits, right, it would hit right here. So I can either cut a slit in the badge, like here, like right through here, or I can cut a slit here, and I can try and get this to just slide in there, or cut the badge. I don't know. I think the slit might be the best option. I think I'm gonna go with that. I think I'm just gonna cut a vertical line this way so that this can just boop. I don't see why that wouldn't work. Yeah, let's just do that. So I figured out the best way for me to do this. I think we're just gonna send it. So what I did here is I just held up the badge like pretty much centered on there where these holes visually line up with this. I hope. And we're just gonna, I saw where the edges were of the badge, and I just marked it, and then I used the ruler to match the angle of this curve, because it's not straight. There is a little bit of a curve to it, kind of like that way. So I used the ruler to get a straight line drawn. Now I'm gonna take the Dremel, and I'm just gonna slit this here and here, and hopefully the badge should just slide right in, but start cutting and hopefully it works. All right guys, so I got the cutting started a little bit here. I ended up just putting the emblem back up here, and the line was just slightly off, so not a big deal. This marker wipes off, but I'm just cutting a line back, slide the emblem right in, and hopefully it looks pretty good when I'm done with it. If not, get another grill, you know, it's not a big deal. All right, as you guys can see, we're making some progress. The emblem fits into the side slots. You can't really see that side, but it fits, but it's on an angle, right? So the Acura logo doesn't have these little prongs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut these off of here, so that way it can hopefully sit straight. Let's give it a try. All right, now that these are cut off, they should fit much better now. Yeah, so based off of my resistance, I gotta go a little bit wider on one side, but I want it to be really close, you know, so I'm gonna end up smoothing out the edge, but right now that's going in pretty good. So let's keep working it and see if I can get this to sit flush. All right, so the line work here is a little bit off, but I ended up having to cut out this whole centerpiece because the well, where is it? The bolts for the Honda emblem don't fit into this. So this is the centerpiece here. I was trying to put the Honda emblem over this, but it stuck like a half an inch out because it didn't fit all the way into here. So I had to take this out, and this is just gonna sit right in the middle of this now. So I mean, it fits pretty well, but as you can see here, the edges are a little wide. I'm just gonna smooth it out with like a little sanding paper or something, because it does have like a contour to it. So if I was to do this again differently, so you guys can do it right, I would put this up to here, what this is all here, put this up to here and cut super on the inside. Like, don't come out to here, just start like here, start as close to this thing as you can, right? I would start cutting like here and go back, and then start over here and go back. That way, when you go to put the emblem in, if it's not wide enough, like I have too much on each side, right? You want to start off with little bits. So if it's not wide enough, you can just bump it out, bump it out, bump it out until you have a little bit of clearance. Because right now I have too much clearance. So we're just going to smooth it out and bolt this up. I was trying to trim it here to fit over the piece that sits in here, and then I realized that it was never going to work, so I just cut this whole piece out. It's still structurally sound. You can pull on it, whatever, it's still going to hold just fine. So I'm just going to mount it up through here, and it should be the end of it. The badge is on the car. I might try to adjust it just a little bit because it's looks like it's not centered exactly, but it's how it looks on the car. If you see here, this gap is bigger than this gap. So what I either have to do is take more off this side or try and shift the badge over, but the badge is like centered with the bumper, so I don't know, I might take it back off again and just try and get this to open up so it doesn't look as bad. But that's how it came out. I mean, from like a couple feet away, it doesn't look too bad. You know, it's definitely a different look. But I feel like once I just adjust the gap on both sides, it'll look much better. And I'm gonna get rid of this little curve that it has. So let me file this down. I'm gonna pull the badge back off, but like, it's on there. You know, I tightened it down really good. These aren't gonna go anywhere either. There's tabs on the back, so just pull this back off and open this up a little bit, and then it should be good to go. Well, I got the front all set and done. I just got to clean this rubber off of here. But that's how it came out. Bumper's back on, emblems on. You can't even tell after I filed it down. My dad had a file and I just shaved it a little bit to make it even on both sides. You really can't even tell. We're gonna do the back emblem now. He's got a little towel thing here. We're gonna try and pop it off. So this one, the old pieces were stuck in there, so we just popped them out, and then you should be able to use the new one here. We're just cleaning off around the area because this is a different shape. So I just want to clean around here first. Just gonna take these little strips of tape off and pop it onto the car. And just like that, she is on. No more Acura badge. I didn't want to touch it with my finger, so just make sure. Press it in, nice and good. I want to get the tape on the top to grab, and then tape on the bottom to grab. And that's it. Sweet. Imagine if I put it on upside down. That would be funny. So next we're just going to clear a spot here and put the Type S badge on the car. Alright, time for the final touch here. I think this goes somewhere around here. I'm going to look online quick just to see how it looks on other people's cars, because I want to make sure this is in the right spot. I think it goes like right there. So let me just look online. All right, so I got the badge on here. I just kind of looked online at some pictures and used the little level and put it on there, and it looks all right. I think it's a little bit ever so slightly to the right, but it looks pretty good. So we're just gonna leave it how it is. I think that's about the appropriate gap. The Honda emblem looks great. Type S badge. No more Acura badge.
Never see one like that.
Yeah, they're hard to find with that badge on it. Noel has his like that, but now it matches my steering wheel, and the front is also Honda Type S. Nobody really has that on 02, 04 at all, so I think it's a pretty neat look. I want to back the car up and actually get a good look at it. But I think some skirts and a diffuser and like a little deck lid would kind of complete this car. Doesn't really need much else. Pretty much good to go. Well, that was fun. A little trial and error with the bumper. I would just do it a little differently if I was to start again, but I don't think anybody's really ever done this. I would have just cut this narrower and then test fit and then opened it up a little more until it had good clearance, but that's really not that bad. I was able to level it out and it looks pretty damn good. So I'm happy with that overall for just an idiot with a power tool. So I like that. I wish these came in earlier. I would have just done it all on the same day. But the bumper's not hard to take on and off, so luckily we're all done. I lost my hat somewhere along the way. I'll show a visual of the part numbers if you guys want to check them out. There's one. I think the other one is right here. And then the Type S one. Oh, there we go. There's the third one. Type S badge. I'm pretty sure this is for the badge, for the back. So I'm going to save all those just so I can put them in my phone. That way I have them for another point in time. But overall, pretty successful little video. You know, there's my hat. I got a little bit thrown off doing the bumper at first and it ended up being all right. You know, I wanted to go with the initial, just cutting a slit and using the OEM mount, but this piece here is just too big for the Honda emblem to fit over the top of, so I had to just cut the whole entire thing out and squeeze the emblem over it, and it honestly looks great. I've never seen anybody else do that on these cars. Normally it comes like the 0204 Honda emblem is like big discontinued, can't find it anywhere. It's like $400 or $500. So we made do with the one that we could find on eBay for like, I think I paid $100 for all the badges, which in my book is super cheap. Not gonna complain about that. Found them all for a good deal. Even the front one, this Type S badge, is big discontinued. Can't find that for anything under like $250. Wrap it up here. Hope you guys liked the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yo,